Hare Krishna,
Uh,
Dhanavaprana.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm really good. Happy to be here.
So happy to see you. Oh, Savarupa, I have you in two devices.
Yeah, I was logging on with my computer while I was waiting to access this one on my cell phone
Okay.
because we had load shedding, electricity power outs. So I
Oh,
couldn't connect on my laptop yet. But
okay.
once I'm connected, I'm gonna log off.
Rupanuga Prabhu, obeisances. Good morning, obeisances, Maharaj.
Good morning, obeisances. I'm looking for Rupanuga Prabhu, but I see a surrealistic video playing. Hare Krishna. All right. Yes, Dandavat Pranam, Dandavat Rupanuga Prabhu, indeed, Leela Moy Prabhu, and to Praneshri Devidasi, Sevarupa Devidasi, Lin and Dharna came. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. So Leela Moy Prabhu, we've been thinking of you and you all in Brazil. I think you know. I don't know if you know, but we're thinking of you. All right. Actually, we're always thinking of all the devotees. We do care for the devotees. And this week's theme, or our starter at least, we've got a quote from last time that somehow slipped by. It was about form on our subject of the difference of the form and the substance. But before we start in the theme, let us give greeting to each other the way that we do, because we are devotees. So let us give obeisances. We say, today we say, Vandeham, Om Gyan, Vanchakalpa, and Namo Maha Varanyaya. Vandeham, Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam, Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And Namo Maha Paranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvije Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Govinda Govinda. So welcome to those who just joined us just now. Means Nityananda Ram Prabhu. We didn't see you for a while, so happily having you with us today. And Jivana Devidasi and Narottam Nittai Prabhu, Nahush, joined us today. And I think we had an leftover question from you from 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, perhaps.
Yes, we were waiting for him. So today is the opportunity.
All right. Excellent. And Dana, I mentioned Dana before. Yes, Dana. Oh, Priyananda joined us. I knew there was another one on the screen. And I don't have Facebook on. I only have one connection. Let's see what happens on Facebook. I hope we don't get cut off by anyway. Hare Krishna. All right. So maybe Praneshri Devidasi, you can read what you put in the chat box, a quote from Srila Guru Maharaj, I believe, just at the end of last week's program. Well, not last week's, but a few days ago's program.
Yes, this Monday. I'm going to put it in the chat, and I'm going to invite our dear Jivana Didi to read it from her flower airplane.
Perfect. Seconded. But turn on your microphone, Jeevanadi. Yes. Mhm. Govinda, Govinda. Jeevana. Oh, she's looking for the chat. It's not so easy on the mobile phone. You have to click more and click chat and click this and that. But we've all become very expert children using these mobile phones, which are like children's toys. For adults. And I don't have big thumbs, but we still have difficulty to use those things. You think of people who have like big thumbs, how they can type on them. But causing you a problem, Jeevan.
Yes.
Well, we can read.
Yes. Let's do something. Sevarupa, please.
Anything with Praneshwari. I'm asking Praneshwari, but she's passing to anybody. I don't mean that in any other way.
Everyone is more special, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. All right. I can't compete in this humility department.
Yes, so Dandavat Pranams and Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisances. So Praneshwari is constantly reminding me of Tranadapi Sunichina, Tarore Vasahishnuna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtanya Sadahari. But as a senior devotee, I will honor your request. Let me try. So on last Monday, Spiritual Sangha hosted by Devashish Prabhu from London, the topic was form and substance. Don't confuse one for the other. Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Shri Guru and His Grace, instructing spiritual masters. We have left all social concerns and so many other shackles. For what? For the absolute truth. And wherever I shall find that, I must bow down my head. And if a great soul shows us, this is the path to where you will find your thirst quenched. The line is in the zigzag way. We must accept that for our own interest. We are worshippers not of form, but of substance. If the current of spiritual substance comes another way, but I think that I must try to go this way to reach my goal, it is only jealousy, blind tenacity to stick to the physical thing. We must free ourselves from this material contamination and try to understand the value of spiritual truth. We should always be prepared for that. We must follow what is necessary for our own interest. Dan, was that what I was supposed to be reading?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Hare Krishna.
And especially the line that says we must free ourselves from this material contamination and try to understand the value of a spiritual truth. That was so important to be reminded of.
Hare Krishna, back to Bhakta Basics.
Jai Hare Krishna, welcome. And we have Paramananda Prabhu already here, Maharaj.
Paramananda Prabhu and Tunga Vidya Devi Dasi right beside him. Dandavat, in a right-hand drive vehicle. It's not a mirror image. Hare Krishna. And Braja means Braja Mohini. With us?
Braja Sundari, Maharaj.
Oh,
Braja
Braja
Sundari
Sundari.
translating into Russian.
Oh, okay. It's a very dark picture. Please excuse me. Okay, well, we do have Paramananda Prabhu with us. And I can say that for many of us, older persons, for many of us, this quotation that has been given by Praneshwari Devirasi means selected by her. Of course, it's a quote from Srila Guru Maharaj. But this quote, it is something which we in our own individual ways have had to also adjust with and face and go against the current of the general flow to come to the lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. And not just by saying we've come, but actually, stepping away from the formality of what we've been brought up with within the ISKCON mission. I mean, we can say it, why not? Because we are grateful to ISKCON, but at that time, it certainly had its difficulties. And when we saw what was happening, or heard what was happening, and then saw what was happening, and then heard about Srila Guru Maharaj and saw Guru Maharaj, then it was really, it was actually no question, or will I or won't I? It was just the natural necessity of our lives. And we'd come for the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, and his teachings definitely included, come to Srila Sridhar Maharaj if you have any questions. I consider him my Siksha Guru. What to speak of the benefit that you can have by his association. So step by step in our Krishna consciousness, we came from nowhere, but were fortunate to have appreciation for Srila Prabhupada and recognition of what he's giving. And what he's giving was Krishna consciousness, and Krishna consciousness means following the current of spiritual life. And this very much we got as a reality from Srila Prabhupada, not as a formality, but as a reality. So coming to Srila Guru Maharaj was definitely something we had to consciously pick up our small bag and go to Srila Guru Maharaj and leave all other things. But easily, it wasn't, oh, we've got all these things here. Well, at least not in many of our cases. Perhaps some devotees, they did keep some bag and baggage, as it were, and felt that, no, I've got too many things to lose by coming. But there again, you see, in Krishna consciousness, we're introduced at the beginning at a certain stage. And then everybody has a choice when they read Bhagavad Gita. Everybody has a choice when they see the guidance of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev in their books, through their devotees, through their tapes, through the many places on the internet now where they can come and see their lectures. But how many people actually become vegetarian, chant Hare Krishna, offer their food? A small percent. So again, everywhere along the journey, there's some percent will follow the thread, and some percent, maybe a bigger percent, won't follow the thread, but will stay within their comfort zone. And I had to read and reread this quote a little bit because of the word jealousy. And then we're thinking jealousy. And then I looked up jealousy in the dictionary, and then in the dictionary I have here on the computer, which is the Mac dictionary, as far as I know, giving an example. And the very first example here in the dictionary is in the thesaurus is, he was jealous of his sister's popularity, envious. And then it says, covetous, desirous, resentful, grudging, begrudging. Hare Krishna. So there are quite a lot of other, in the thesaurus, there's quite a lot of other alternative words for jealousy. Anyway, there we are, that if we can't appreciate where the current is coming, then there is some jealousy there. And I had to think about that. And then the part that Praneshri in particular pointed out, we must free ourselves from this material contamination. So it is only jealousy, blind tenacity to stick to the physical thing. We must free ourselves from this material contamination and try to understand the value of spiritual truth. We should always be prepared for that. We should always be prepared for that. We must follow what is necessary for our own interest. Well, Praneshwari, what do you want me to say more than that? Srila Guru Maharaj has said it straight and to the point and perfectly. Dhimahi, let us meditate. And this is very true. I don't know why, but in this last 2 weeks, there have been many difficulties with devotees, with operations. I know 4 devotees who've had operations this week. I mean, not just to remove an ingrowing toenail, you know, like a small operation, but had to go to hospital and all these things. I know 4 devotees and more devotees who've got, who are in difficulty. And it does remind us that this world is a temporary place. And sometimes we get a devotee saying, oh, why this is happening, so many things in the world. But they sometimes get, anybody can get stuck on one part. Recently, it's about the war, but how does God allow this to happen? About the war, which is taking place, and it's close to us, and so naturally there are people who are involved with their families and everything. How does God allow it to happen? But everywhere, that's difficulty on a mass scale at one time. But there's difficulty on the global scale in the sense of we're in the middle of birth, death, old age, and disease. It's all around us, and we are in it. We're not devoid of it. But what's the greatest wonder of the world? That we all just keep on going on as though it doesn't apply to us. But here, Srila Guru Maharaj is giving us the emphasis that we must do the right things spiritually, because this world, we can make no petition against the Lord. We are here, we are all here. Doesn't matter what country or what, wealth or what anything else. We are all here in the midst of birth, death, old age, and disease. And our urgency is to get ourselves in the right direction. And that right direction is definitely, I can say very clearly because it's so clear to me. It's coming through Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Gurudev. It is just very clear, and that's not being an ism person. That's this is where the current has come from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And so here we are, we must try to always keep in connection with that current. Keep ourselves where we can get not only connection in the formality way, but the connection in the consciousness way, what they are giving. And we know that in course of time, that will become more and more remote as we go down 100 years, 200 years down the line. It's going to be more and more difficult, perhaps, to find, okay, actually, who was Gurudev and who was Guru Maharaj? But I have hope that if the books and the recordings, the tapes, etc., now not tapes, I know, but the recordings that were made on tapes, if these are made available and preserved, if it's still possible to read a PDF format book 200 years from now, who knows? We think now that a PDF book, that's solid. Everyone can read a book that's in PDF format. You're all using computers. You know what PDF file is. It's basically a universally readable file at the moment. But as long as their message, which is so you can say solidly available now if we are to look, if we are to keep our attention, focus ourselves to their message. If that message still is solidly available in 200 years' time, then we can have hope that the people will be able to connect with the spiritual current by their grace at that time. Just as now we are following under the grace too of Rupa Goswami, of Jiva Goswami, following under the grace of the great souls in the Parampara. And for us, of course, headed by our immediate shelter of Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. So we must be aware of this very much. And Guru Maharaj saying about not moving on, and we must free ourselves from this material contamination and try to understand the value of spiritual truth. Hare Krishna. Okay, anyway, that's my immediate reflection. We did discuss, and this is a leftover from Monday, you're quite right. It wasn't actually back to basics. It was the London Zoom, and it was very happy London Zoom. And now that we have it being translated into Spanish and into Russian, then more and more devotees are able to squeeze into the London temple room and hear Harikatha. And actually, I should ask, I don't know if Praneshwari knows, but I see that that was recorded, and Devashish Prabhu's talk was a classic talk. It was original, and it was a heart talk on this subject. And it is clear, straightforward, and to the point. I mean, really, he made a very good point, or points. So do you have that recording, Praneshwari, or do you know who was the...
I will put it here in the chat, Maharaj. I'm going to look for it.
Okay, perfect. Because the Zoom
It should
recording...
be already in YouTube. I will look for it, Maharaj.
Okay, okay. Many thanks. But we do have Paramananda with us, or we did have, he was on my screen.
Yes.
Paramananda, would you kindly, also Paramananda, some of us have each had some like quite direct experience of resistance to following the spiritual current. And maybe Paramananda can give us some first-hand emphasis on following what is true. And by the way, when we came to, well, I can just add one little bit. When we came to Guru Maharaj, our seniors who taught us so much, they are coming to try to tell us, no, not this way. You must come within the society. Like they're coming, they're flying, they're coming specifically to take us, back. And so we also have to think. We haven't, we have to think, oh, these person, they look after me. But then we also realize they've been helpful to a certain stage. But this advice is not helpful. We have to look, and not that we're criticizing them, but we each have to make sure that we're going forwards. The kindergarten teacher can take us so far. The junior school teacher can take us so far. And so they were sincere, they were everything. But more than what they had given, which you could say was the safety zone, I suppose, was what had come from Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and Gurudev. And this very theme, by this we came to Guru Maharaj, and as I've said before, our experience was like a crash course in what is Guru and what is disciple. Guru, disciple, is like a crash course in that, by coming to Guru Maharaj and all the things that we went through. So Paramananda Guru, he came through all of this, and here he is, driving his motor car in the direction of Seva all the time. Prabhu.
I wish, Maharaj. But, well, I missed that first, whatever, except from, I'm not sure where Praneshwari was reading, but I kind of caught a gist of the conversation. And that reminded me a lot about, well, like you said, we all come through that experience at some point of our life when we were heavily institutionalized and the God was monopolized. And we were told that there's no God outside of this particular group of people, particular society. And if you don't follow, there will be no God, or a wrong conception of God. We went through that. But then what helped is the association again. And in my case, it was the association with through Srila Swami Maharaj's books and reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Upadeshamrita, these two books really were life-changing for me at that time because I was not familiar with Guru Maharaj's books yet. And I started noticing that, well, first I thought maybe something wrong with me, and I'm still thinking there is definitely something wrong with me, very wrong. But I thought, okay, I should wait and see if maybe I have to adjust my vision. But at some point, I realized that the society really became an obstacle. And whatever I was hearing had nothing to do with God consciousness. But I did not lose my faith in the process, in the ideal. That faith was there. So I decided to leave the society. And it was a challenge, no doubt, because then you're outside, you don't know what to do. And sometimes many devotees, they have that desire to leave a certain group or certain association that stopped to be helpful on our path, but they're attached to a certain zone of comfort that is created for them. So they're having difficulty to making that step. But anyhow, it happened. And then years later, and of course, Srila Guru Maharaj book came into my hands, Sri Guru in his grace, and everything was harmonized. And later on, I met with Srila Govinda Maharaj. And at some point, the same discussion, we were discussing with Srila Govinda Maharaj about the same issue, basically. And it was about who will represent Krishna consciousness ideals, especially in the light of Srila Guru Maharaj's teachings, when Srila Govinda Maharaj concludes his visible pastimes. And then Srila Gurudev answered very sweetly and also very deeply. He said to me that, Prabhu, and asked whom I should follow, who will be that person? And I'm thinking, okay, there should be a person, there should be some kind of a group of people, mission, institution or something. He said, no, you follow the one Vaishnava from whom you will feel the current of devotion flowing, who will inspire you. You follow him, you serve under him. That was his answer. And I expected something else, no doubt, but that was the answer. And then when I inquired from Srila Govinda Maharaj, and how shall I recognize such Vaishnava? I have no capacity. And you said so many times how difficult it is to recognize devotion. Then he smiled and said, Guru Maharaj will help you. Referring to Guru Maharaj's wealth that we all inherited by the grace of Srila Govinda Maharaj in my case. It's all there. And I will always repeat the same thing. If we all read and hear Guru Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj, read their books, hear their talks, follow their instructions, there will be a harmony inside of us and also outside in any group of people we're mixing with. It will happen. But we should not just read it and forget about it. We should read it and try to implement it in our lives. And that is the way. And then Srila Guru Maharaj also quotes that verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Yat Anucharita Karna Piyusha Viprana. He said that once you have a drop of that nectar entering your ear, when you're free of envy, and in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described that this is the qualification to hear that message, Nirmatsara. You have to be free of envy. So when that drop of nectar reaches your ears, and your heart at that moment is free of envy, it turns you into a beggar. You will spend all life looking for that nectar. And when you find that nectar, the tendency will be to share it with others. And also famous quote of Srila Guru Maharaj, but don't know exactly, but he said that wherever this current is coming from, I will pay obeisances. I will pay respect in that direction, wherever it is coming from, whomever it is coming from. So that is what should be paid attention to, not the external things. Maharaj, I'm not sure, my internet is not so good. I'm not sure if you're able to hear it, but everybody's frozen on my screen.
No, Prabhu is perfect.
Perfect.
My feet were frozen. I was listening when I went to get some duvet and cushion to put on my feet. That's what happened to me.
And just to conclude, today is Ram Navami, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes.
From
Yes.
Chandra.
Yes.
We're fasting till noon, just till noon. I remember the talk with Srila Gurudev when he's pacifying one Vaishnava, one big Vaishnava, who is a big connoisseur of prasadam. You say, oh, Maharaj, just till noon. So you're safe there. No need to worry so much. Only till noon we're doing that. Usually Vishnu Tattva, we can fast whole day, but in Ram Navami case, appearance of Lord Ramachandra, only till noon. So we're fasting happily. And then we can remember the verse of Sri Ramachandra, who is accepting Bibhishan as his sincere and faithful follower. And he is saying that whomever, even once in their life, will surrender themselves to me sincerely and with full faith, I will never forget, I will never abandon them, and I will give them courage to come to me. So that is a good verse to remember. Sakri deva prapanayat tavasmiti chayachite abhayam sarvadatasmai dadatitam vratam mama. I swear, he says, Ramachandra, I'm swearing, I will give you that courage. I will accept you. I will remember you. I will never abandon you. And that is very hopeful. Maharaj, I shall conclude here.
Okay, Prabhu, definitely appreciate your first point on the form and substance part and the moving forward. And also as a reminder, it is Ram Navami today here, but not in the USA. And I see that also not yet in the USA is available Devashish's talk. And I don't know why, but there we are. But YouTube has a way of putting things up. Oh, not.
No, it was cut off. I pasted, I changed. Let me put it back there. Here is the link on YouTube. It has not been uploaded yet. It's just that I had it on the chat, but then when we changed to Ramanavami, I pasted and it was on top of the other one. So here it is.
Okay, okay. All right, I didn't exactly follow everything, but I'm sure it all makes sense. All right, so I'm going to copy this because I'm copy them both now then. I'm going to copy this because I'm going to share it with some others too, because it was a good original explanation to help us understand about form and substance and why we should come to the substance and what we should do to come to it. Not just have a gym membership card, but to go to the gym and follow the routine. Good example, Devashish Prabhu. We are grateful for that. And just once, and as well as copying it, I have to paste it somewhere safe. Okay, paste it somewhere safe. All right. So
And the previous link is an article of Jagamohini Devidasi from 2012 that Shri Bhakti Lalita read early this morning. I mean, your morning, just before BBBC.
okay.
A beautiful article compiled by Jagamohini Devidasi.
Okay, wonderful. So I have copied both links, and please also encourage everyone to copy both those links too, because we are giving links to good things. How about that? Hare Krishna. And would you like to remind me of Narottam Nitai? But
Yes,
Narottam
that
Nitai disappeared,
that one's next, Maharaj.
but he's not here.
Oh, is he gone? He didn't hear that we were going to. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, well, next time we see him,
We'll
keep
trap him.
Yeah, we'll trap him, right. We'll try to keep that. Okay, well, I'm also going to go if I don't give some food to my computer, Krishna's computer. Don't give some food to Krishna's computer. There we
Oh,
go.
Maharaj, look who's coming in. I'm so happy. Muktina.
Muktinathu. You're so happy. Okay. Now we're going to ask Praneshri Devirasi. We are all happy, no doubt. Yes, Muktinathu got his audio is on. Praneshri Devirasi, tell us, why are you so happy to see Muktinathu's arrival?
Because in the Vaishnava festival in Thailand last year, he was the best example of being humble, of being always engaged in seva, of being helpful. It was a wonderful association, beautiful mood of service. That's the reason I'm so happy. And Maharaj, please check the chat. There is a quote from Paramananda Prabhu.
We are not moralists or sinners, scholars or illiterates. We are carriers of the shoes of the Lord's sincere servants who are initiated into the mantra Chaitanya Sada Harihi. The Lord's name is to be chanted constantly. And yes, oh yes, it's from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it's from Srila Saraswati Thakur. And thanks for confirming, Paramananda. Yes, we are not moralists or sinners. And this is coming from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who's strongly telling about morals, strongly telling about so many things, but still, and he's greatly literate, hugely literate. But we are not moralists or sinners, scholars or illiterates. We are carriers of the shoes of the Lord's sincere servants who are initiated into the mantra Chaitanya Sada Harihi. The Lord's name is to be chanted constantly. Hare Krishna. And as written in Sriman Mahaprabhu Shikshastakam, Haram Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. May Shri Krishna Sankirtan be supremely victorious. So may that, jumping, be the motto of the Gaudiya Math, perhaps. No? So this is the Gaudiya Math's only objective, is Haram Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan. May Shri Krishna Sankirtan be supremely victorious. This is the Gaudiya Math's only objective. Hare Krishna. Oh my goodness, more quotes. We have a river of quotes. This one from Seva Rupadiri. But just before we come to read this quote, just like to say that hearing Praneshwari giving glorification of Muktinath Prabhu, but giving glorification of the worthy devotees. This is the life of the devotees, to give glorification to others. And you see that she is happy. Maybe Muktinath will not so happy because he's hearing it. But apart from him, everybody else is happy to hear the genuine glorification of the Vaishnavas. And this is our life. This is Gurudev's life and Gurudev's example. And Srila Gurudev's example, giving initiation into Chaitanya Sada Harihi and the rest of that verse. Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadina Chaitanya Sada Harihi. Okay, what quote have you given us? Seva Rupa Devidasi. From where?
Dandavaktanams. It's from Gaudiya Darshan. I was going to paste in where it's from Srila Bhakti Rakak Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj's emphasis on the power of faith over calculation. I think it was a conversation. There's a student that asked a question, and Srila Guru Maharaj was responding.
Okay, yes, I just looked through, yes. So this is Srila Guru Maharaj speaking, and who's Praneshwari Devi Dasi going to choose to read it?
Praneshwari.
The one who selected the quote, Maharaj. Or
Okay. Devarupa Devi Dasi, over to you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. I was thinking I would ask Praneshwari Devi Dasi to please read the quote, since I've had a chance already.
Okay. So if Chintamani cannot do it, I will read it.
I'm not sure we have Chintamani with us.
Yeah, yes, I can see her.
You can see her. Okay, yes. Got good eyesight. Oh, yes. Okay, my eyesight has been empowered by you seeing her, and I can now also see her. All right. Chintamani Di, can you read it? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay, some sound. Okay. Seeing by hearing.
Good hope in the infinite. The practices, acharan, of Mahajanas are more valuable than our human calculation. The physical truth, the material truth, does not have much value. After all, it is only based on a strong false attitude of mind. So, such truth should not be given greater respect than the intuitive practices of the pure devotees. The intuition of a pure devotee should be given preference to the calculated truth of ordinary persons here. Faith has no connection with the so-called reality of this world. It is completely independent. Shraddha mayo yang loka. There is a world which is guided only by faith. Faith is everything, and it is of infinite nature. It is all accommodating. The world of faith is all accommodating. Everything may be true there by the sweet will of the Lord. Faith is the air, the breath. Calculation has no actual value. It is inconclusive and destructive in its ultimate goal. So it should be rejected. The knowledge of the materialists, the fallible calculations of the exploiting souls, has no value whatsoever. In the world of the infinite, faith is the standard, the only standard, to move hither and thither, just as the compass is the only director in the ocean. When seamen cannot see anything, their compass is their only guide. In the world of infinite, faith is our compass. The footsteps of the great personages that have traveled the way marked by the holy footsteps of those that have gone to the highest quarter, should be our only guide.
So beautiful. In the world of infinite, faith is our compass. Wow. Oh, Maharaj, and we are offering dandamats to welcome Bhakti Shri Rup Vaikanas Maharaj. He just joined us.
Jai Dandavat Maharaj, and welcome to the Philippines for your first time as a sannyasi. Do good for the people, do best for the people. You know what to do. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat to all of you. I'm happy to join you with the good mercy. I thought I was late in your program, you know? And luckily for me, I was able to attend. Good morning from the Philippines and a new horizon of my life, and my offer of Dandavat to each and everyone. Hare Krishna on this beautiful day.
Hare Krishna. And we have Shripad Vaikanas Maharaj with us twice because he's also here on Facebook. I just managed to connect to Facebook, and several devotees here. I see the ones that send a message, and messages coming here from Sevarupa Devirasi in Mexico, and she's sending her Dandavat to all of you with lots of flowers and obeisances. Jagamohini Devirasi, we are honored to be in your presence. Actually, she's sending her obeisances, senior devotee amongst us. Very wonderful. Kalikadamba Devirasi in Australia, holding the flag of the sweet current of Srila Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. Really, they have a ethereal flag, but a big flag flying over their home there, Abhinava Sundar in Kelly. And Mathura Basini Devirasi, and we do have also Prema Sindhu Prabhu. Yes, Prema Sindhu Prabhu is with us on Zoom, and his wife Mathura Basini on Facebook is here, and also by Shripad Vaikanas Maharaj, and Kat, welcome. She's also in Australia. Kitty Kadamba. And Kamala Sundari, stay safe. We're looking forward to your return. She's just out for a few days, visiting some friends, and she'll be back soon. And yes, also Sevarupa Devirasi in Mexico, sending her obeisances to you, Shripad Vaikanas Maharaj. We are all sending our obeisances. Maharaj, it's been, I think, 1984, since 1984, holding the flag in the Philippines, and now he's holding it as a Tridandi sannyasi, not just one pole flag, but a three pole flag on the top. All right, wonderful thing.
Maharaj, please check the chat. We have one more quote, one last quote from Paramananda Prabhu.
One more quote from Paramananda Prabhu. Tako pratishta shrutayo vibhina nashav rishi yasya matang na bhinam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano jena gata sa pantaha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as the Shastras confirm, one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajans advocate. Hare Krishna. And if you think that we are not in a progressive path, just look at the difference, if you like, from the time of Mahaprabhu, the time also of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which means also the time of Srila Saraswati Thakur, to the present age. And then you see how the practices, the guidance that's been given in the path of devotion, then it's adapted and adopted, but by the Mahajans, not by those who are wanting themselves an easy life, but by the Mahajans who know everything and know the full standard. They have given a different emphasis or a practical emphasis for the modern age, for our chanting of the holy name, our practices, even the temple worship and so many things. And so we are definitely within that path, which is not necessarily just a direct current of formality. And when we hear also, and becomes into a zone which I can't really speak much about, but in the sense of the official guru of some of our masters is hardly known or not generally known. But yet their substantial gurus have always been the Siksha line, the line of the instructing, inspirational spiritual masters. So in different ways, and we have the evidence, if you like, of how even where we are today, we are the result of this zigzag line, the result of the form of the substance being more important than the form. Otherwise, we could be doing so many formalities which would not be befitting for this modern age. And this quote is also telling us, so from Mahaprabhu, that just by ourselves going to the library of the Vedas and reading all the different advice, then we cannot make the conclusion of what is the right thing to do. But by coming to the devotee, by hearing from the devotee, or as Chintamani did say, the English and American actual pronunciation, devotee. But we are following the Vaishnava line of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj and Guru, devotee. Anyway, it's there with the devotee, the substantial. Okay, so the solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Hare Krishna, and we would not know what is that hidden truth without the grace of those self-realized persons, those great Mahajans. And we must be grateful for everything, that we recognize the clear, clean path is also their grace. Grace can be given, grace can be taken away, as Guru Maharaj pointed out. So whatever we have, we must really understand it is Guru's grace. Without that, we can be the mentality of so many people we meet, in the sense we meet and try to explain about Krishna consciousness, and they're stuck in other meditation, other idea like this, which really from the perspective of the Mahajans, it is misdirected. The real direction is to become a devotee. Otherwise, we're stuck in this world. Maybe we can be very good Ayurvedic doctor or homeopathic doctor or holistic healer. Many good things we can do, and people dedicate their lives to it, and to the exclusion, though, of the Krishna conscious side. No, just healthy living, and I'm helping others by healthy living. And we met someone recently like this, but couldn't make the step to see the bigger picture, that yes, we need a wholesome livelihood in this world, but the wholesome livelihood for what? For maintaining our life, for searching for Sri Krishna reality, the beautiful, coming to the devotional path. So, in the meantime, we must encourage for such persons to be selfless. Be selfless, do your duty, but without you wanting the result. This is the theme of Gita. Actually, it's the theme of devotional service, is to be selfless. But selfless for the Lord is the selflessness. We do everything for the Lord and without wanting any payment and anything in reward. I don't mean rupees or dollars or euros, but without wanting anything in reward. So we must always appreciate the grace of Guru. And if that grace is withdrawn, we've also seen devotees go from being devotees to doing altruistic work. And we had a Western devotee, and they were in the temple for some time, and then left from the temple and started a homeopathic or Ayurvedic or something in Vrindavan, went to Vrindavan and themselves started they said this, but disapproved by Gurudev. Disapproved. And we saw that he became famous as a doctor, and he was very, became proud that, oh, when I give medicine, they are definitely cured. I'm the best doctor. But about the Krishna conscious side, he lost his Krishna conscious side somehow with the disapproval of Gurudev. And only you could hear from him Dr. Katar and how good he was as a doctor, but cannot engage in Krishna Katar, except maybe token engagement. And we had another devotee, went to Vrindavan. By the way, we think, oh, we go to Vrindavan, oh, isn't that where we're meant to be? We had another devotee, and he got married, went to Vrindavan, bought a small plot of land and a cow. Very disapproved by Gurudev. The devotee would come to Gurudev. Gurudev was very polite with him, but Gurudev also made it clear to him, this is not Krishna consciousness. You have 1 billion people, or maybe not 1 billion, I mean, there's over 1 billion people in India, but you've got half of them, 500 million people, they live in the countryside with a cow. It doesn't make you Krishna conscious. So we must see that we must pray for a drop of that treasure in the heart of the pure Vaishnavas. That will give us faith. And faith is the compass. Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we read just a little bit before? Faith is the compass on our journey home.
Yes.
Praneshri, you had something to say.
Yes, Maharaj. We are preparing the flyer, but today we can announce that Sri Govinda Farm Vaishnava Festival in Thailand will take place from 29th October to 7th November. So everyone is welcome, everyone is invited. Even with our hearts, we can be there. And Maharaj, today it's a special occasion, so we are going to ask Chintamani to please open her camera, because we are going to join Jai Dev's birthday party.
Jayadev's birthday party or Ramachandra's birthday party?
He's celebrating on Ramachandra's birthday party.
Oh, okay, but you're a day before there. All right. Jayadev Ru, happy birthday. Chintamani Didi, turn your camera sideways, then we can see much more, like it, where most of us were on the TV screen. Yes, much better. Hare Krishna. But is that Jayadev Prabhu?
Yes.
Okay, we can see the top of your head. Very good.
Now you're under.
Oh, yeah.
It's so small.
No, they're all around.
Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ji ki jai.
This is Nico, a local community member here,
Nikhil,
Already
Hare
for
Krishna.
ready for brahmacharya.
Brahmacharya.
And here this is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Krishna Baumani.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Madhusudan
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna Didi.
Very good. Hare Krishna. Hello.
It's Kelly and Chris. They host a lot of satsangs at their home in Ojai. You've seen their house on the photos, I'm sure. Beautiful home in Ojai. Madhusudhan Maharaj in our international Bharti community. He is in Italy, Villa Govinda. And then this is the home of Srila Prabhupada's artist, Gunamayi Devi. I'm not putting you on camera. It's the Vaishnavas coming. She hates the camera.
Hare
Very
Krishna.
esoteric Vaishnavis. She's so perfect. I love her. And this is her temple room here. And wait, she made a beautiful prasadam meal for Jayadeva's 48th birthday and welcoming me back from India. And this is her temple room here. She since she's an artist, she was gifted this deity from a local Hindu temple of Srimati Radharani, and she has quite the collection in her shrine here. And she painted this picture of Srila Prabhupada. This is in Ojai, California. It's spelled like Ojai, California. So welcome. We're waiting for you here, Maharaj.
Okay, well, I'm there now. No need to wait any longer. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Our obeisances to all the exalted devotees there, Srila Prabhupada's disciples, long-standing devotees, and appreciating, seeing the seva continuing there in Ojai, Ojai. And a nice house. The microphone is off now, but we're seeing. All right. So there's a birthday, one birthday party, and in America soon you're going to have Ramachandra's birthday party, and in our side of the world we're going to have Ramachandra's birthday party. And so let us remember the Ramachandra's appearance. And if we look at the big picture, how everything has been built up by the Lord's grace to culminate in the appearance of Radha Krishna in Vrindavan, the Krishna Leela. After so many avatars, so much preparation, then Lord Buddha came, Shankaracharya, which is instructed, Shiva instructed by Vishnu came, Mahaprabhu came. And then in this way, the distribution of the Krishna Leela came to be, but with so much preparation, you can say in the course of time. And now we've taken our birth here, where the apex of understanding about the Lord, the apex of religious life, has come to be manifest by the grace of Nitai and Gauranga. That is the exclusive service of Radha and Krishna, achieved by chanting the holy names of the Lord, and in particular the Maha Mantra. So we should not take any of this for granted, and we should try to be good students. We should try to take seriously what we've been attracted to. We should try to take it seriously and follow the current of substance according to as best as we can, from our heart and from the protection of those who we can consider we can consult with and get some reliable advice. All right, preparing the flyer, but announcing today the Sri Govinda Farm Vaishnava Festival in Thailand from 29th of October to 7th of November 2000. And please let Paramananda Prabhu know if you have plans to come, so that all arrangements, he must coordinate everything, and he'll be able to give advice about many things, including the accommodation, etc. So
yes, that is stated in the invitation, Maharaj.
It is, okay. Hare Krishna. All right, dear devotees. And we didn't get a chance today to hear from Muktinath Prabhu. But Muktinath Prabhu, you should prepare for us for next time. Prepare a few words, or at least be prepared to answer some questions. In other words, to share something devotional from Govinda Farm. So we'll be happy to hear this. A small, sweet community of devotees there. And Keshavanandu is still there, is he?
Yes.
And Keshavanandu is there, so they're going to have sweet bhajans, they're going to be having a live program, not a stereotype formal program. They'll be having a live program happily. So let us hear from you, and we'll make a note of that also, just in 3 days' time.
Yes.
Jai, wonderful. Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Swami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Wonderful Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Wonderful Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Our Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. And with us today, Sripad Bhakti Sri Rupa Vaikanas Maharaj ki Jai. Sripad Parmanand Prabhu ki Jai. And all our devotees there having the birthday party, Srila Prabhupada's disciples there in Ohai ki Jai. And to Prema Sindhu Prabhu ki Jai. And to Jeevana's, she was in her car. She was going somewhere, but Jeevana was with us. And ki Jai. And to all, Jeevana is here. Also a dark picture. It must be, is it night in California? It's night in California.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
All right. So to Jeevana ki Jai. And to Jagamohini Devi Dasi, and who is with us also ki Jai. All Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, all disciples of all acharyas. Okay, ki Jai, and Antikoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. And all the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Bancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranam. And please don't forget, do fast on Ramanavami until noon. It's the wish of our masters. They weren't fans of fasting. So when they ask us to fast, it's important. It is
Jai
good.
Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Thank you from the
See-
heart. Thank you.
See you soon. Govinda Govinda.
Jai.
And Gangalila Didi, we missed mentioning you in person. Please excuse.
And
Gangalila.
Priyanana Devidasi also, and Sundari Maharaj.
Everyone, one by one. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad.